Well, good evening, everybody. It is August 4th, 2020, and today I'm getting back to doing a chapter-by-chapter look at this book by Tom Mckay, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. And Tom also has a YouTube channel, Flip Anything USA, and you might want to go on that and take a look at that now because he's added something new and unique to that YouTube channel. Sound. Yeah. Tom went out and got actually a microphone, so now we can hear everything he's saying. So get on there and take a listen to Tom because he's full of good advice. But anyways, I during the beginning of the year I did a review of this book, and I highly recommend it. I'm one of the top real estate educators in the country, and this is a great book if you're just starting out. And I'm going to be a lot more to the point than Tom is. Tom is, I know numbers, right? If Tom sold 1,000 of these a month, he'd still be losing money compared to what he does in real estate. So the book isn't the point. The book is for you. And I'll be honest with you, I'll put it in your face. You either got to buy this book and decide you're going to be in real estate investing, or, it's like fish or cut bait. Are you going to do it or you're not? It's only $20. If you can't commit $20, you really aren't ever going to be able to buy a property because you're just not going to have what it takes to sign the contract. But I'm looking at the book today. Back in March, I was doing the chapter by chapter look at it. So I stopped at chapter 14. The COVID thing came on, and I got super busy. I'm a broker, appraiser, investor, educator, and in any one of those categories, I'm like at the top of the field. So, I'm very busy. But I love this book, and I was doing the chapter by chapter look at it, and I cut off at chapter 14. Things got busy with the COVID. Banks started calling me. I'm super busy, and, but this book, even though I've been doing this stuff for 40 years, it still motivates me. So I wrote some letters back in March, and, what made me angry about listening to Tom's YouTube yesterday, August 3rd, 2020, was that this guy Alex chatted in that he had he was a little hesitant. Maybe he didn't want to spend the $20 to buy the book, or maybe when he listened to Tom, he was a little skittish of buying land and lots. And I had actually targeted some lots back in March, and I knew they were going to go up in value. But lots, these people have been holding on to them for a long time. Nothing much was happening. With the COVID thing, I thought things would slow down. So I wrote the letters, and, where I left off in this book, and the next chapter 15 is how to handle written responses. Well, I got the responses, and I know how to handle them. I'm a pro at this. And, how I handle responses is, I ask them questions. I don't throw out a number, well, will you take this for the property? I go, what do you think it's worth? Will you hold some financing? Will you hold some short-term financing, or will you hold some long-term financing? Will you do a land contract? What's your motivation to sell? How soon do you want to close? So I, pepper them with questions, actually, and that's the conversation. I'm gathering the information from the seller, and then, I never throw out a number first, because what if I came in higher? Then I'm just pulling money out of my pocket. So I knew how to respond, and I did that right away. And like in here, chapter 15, it says respond immediately. And that's what you should do. You got to respond. You got to follow up. So I did that part. They called me. I negotiated, and, so it was late March, and I didn't said, one day turned into a week, and a week turned into a month, and I didn't came to terms, but I didn't write the contract and get it signed. Well, 2 weeks ago, those lots closed. Somebody else bought them, 20 cents on the dollar. Now, I'm not complaining. Here's a pile of checks, like probably 60 of them, good from banks that have paid me nicely. But that is money I worked for. There's a difference between making a bunch of money by grinding it out and signing your name on a contract and then just selling it. So, I didn't do what I made the offer with chapter 16, but I didn't write it up, and I didn't sign it. I didn't follow through all the way. So I was angry, when I said I was angry at myself because I know all this stuff. And like in the video on August 3rd says, you got to make time repeatedly. You can't just give it a one shot and you're done. To find your area that you want to invest in, learn that area, go out and send your letters or make your contacts, no matter how you're doing it, email, phone calls, mail, and then follow through. You got to follow through. I had the deals in my hand. They were mine to be had. I didn't follow through because I got complacent. I got lazy. I said, I'm busy. Those lots will be there in 2 months, and I'll just cash them out then. And in one of these chapters, I think it was chapter 15, you'll see I got a ton of notes and underlines in here. I love this book. It's a great book. But, you got to buy it. I mean, if you can't invest $20 in this book, I don't know how you think you're ever going to buy a piece of property. But one of these, undeliverable returns. Well, I got one right here. I used to get piles of these, literally piles. And when I first started out, I was in an office of, I think it was 4 or 5, they were all older men, investors, real estate guys, and they would send out letters. They actually taught me some of it, the beginning aspect of farming with letters. And they used to get, anywhere from 5 to 10% of them back under deliverable if the mailman actually brought them back to you. And they would complain, I wasted this on postage, and they would all toss these in the garbage, and I'd be the last one out because I'm the new guy in the block, and I'd dig all these out. I learned how to skip trace, so I used to track down all these people, try to the best I could, because where their search ended, mine began, because they took the easy route. We're going to do it, and if they got a return, they just considered that a dead end. I considered that, even the professionals were giving up at that point. If I can just track them down, then I would be like the only one talking to these people. So, there's a lot to be learned in this book. It's a short book, but this is the one. And another thing Tom mentioned today, about on his YouTube was about Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin has like 700,000 subscribers. Tom has like 11,000 now, and I mean, when I first did the first book review of Tom's book, he had like 3,000, so he's grown exponentially. But Meet Kevin, I don't consider him a real estate expert. He does have a license, but he's a professional YouTuber, definitely. I mean, he is good at YouTubing. Be honest with you, his real experience is limited. He hasn't been through real cycles, and I have actually bought more houses in a single day than I think Kevin owns right now. So, I mean, I'm an appraiser, broker, investor, and one of the most highly designated real estate educators in the country. But Tom mentioned that, Meet Kevin's going to have a YouTube training class, and Tom said he's thinking about joining up for that. And I wanted to be the first, so I hacked into Kevin's site to see. I actually got there pretty quick, and I was number 2 to sign up for that YouTube class, I think. But I used an alias, but the first person that signed up was TM Birddogger. TM Birddogger. Now I mean, my alias is better than that, so but there's lots of great things. So Meet Kevin has 750,000 subscribers. Tom has 11,000 now, which came up from 3 in a few short months, and the first steps are the hardest. I have 142, 142. Tom actually gave me a plug in one of his videos, Now I have 139 subscribers, so I've actually lost 3. But I'm Jeb from the University of Success. It's not really a tongue twister, it's just I'm tired. I work till about 2 a.m. every night. I really have a passion for what I do, and that's real estate. And in any one of the categories, broker, appraiser, investor, or educator, in a singular fashion, not combined, I'm near the top of each one of those categories. So, but I have a lot coming from my YouTube channel, and I hope you will kindly subscribe if you got this far. It's 10 minutes, but let me show you a quick something. I just got to cover the lens here, but I have 3 studios. Tom you know, talked about on August 3rd that he has like $100,000 worth of equipment in a studio, and he's recording on a cracked one of these iPhone. Well, you know, I have the same thing. Him and I probably have the best studios that are unused in the country. So, but I'm going to use mine, and there's going to be some humor in it. I think there might be a little humor in it. So let me give you a quick peek. I can't show you. There's a lot of secrets going on, but I have a big studio here. I have actually 3 of them, but let's take a quick look. It's only going to take a second in this blackout, but you know, that could be trouble. But anyways, hope to see you soon.